Hey, friends, this is Kyle with Friends of Recovery here with Tim.
That's me.
And so today we're going to talk about something that a lot of people in early recovery struggle with, which is sleep.
Sleep sucks. It's one of the dumbest things that ever happens.
And it's terrible because you have to do it.
Correct.
Yeah. And I think the trick is that when you stop using, your brains and your bodies, they're trying to learn how to rest without substances.
Correct. And just the process of getting to sleep and the stuff that's going through your head is literally something everyone deals with in early recovery and probably past early recovery as well.
Yeah, I know. When I was actively using, sleep wasn't a problem. And either you would be too inebriated to not fall asleep, or you would pass out. And of course, you'd never feel rested. The sleep was terrible, but it's just not something that I even recognized was an issue until my early recovery. And then I realized, hey, I can't fall asleep. I can't stay asleep.
Well, and especially during that time of active use too, we're not actually getting deep sleep at all. We're completely skipping that portion of sleep.
The important part.
And actually being able to get back into that state where we're actually going into deep sleep, getting that REM sleep is it's literally new to us again. We have to retrain our brain to actually do that.
And so I think, what really helped me initially was working to get a routine.
Mm-hmm.
If I could say okay, I'm going to fall asleep every night at 10 o'clock. And then I'm going to wake up every day at 6 o'clock. And that would give me my 8 hours. And even if that doesn't happen, just by kind of setting that routine, even if I'm not asleep that entire time,
right?
Just saying okay, this is when I'm in bed. This is when I'm shutting off my brain and trying to go. And it takes a while. I mean, you have to think how long did it take me to develop all those terrible habits? It's going to take me that long to develop better habits now.
Well, and to all of the basic advice that I was told I didn't want to do. I didn't want to not be on my phone as I was trying to go to bed. I did not want to go to bed at a decent time. I didn't want to have that routine, but it was really impactful in helping me actually do that. Turning off the phone, not watching TV up until the moment I was going to sleep, not doom scrolling on TikTok or whatever it was. And reading helped a lot.
Yeah.
Setting different lighting.
Which no one wants to do.
Correct.
Yeah.
Reading is also is silly and I don't like to do it.
Yeah.
But so I actually found audiobooks did help because then I could get into a comfortable position. I could put in earbuds or play it on a speaker or something along those lines. And you can also set a lot of those apps too to start getting quieter as it goes and then turn off. And then I don't lose my spot either.
Yeah.
Which was also a barrier I put in my way. It's well, I got to finish this chapter.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And also, cutting out caffeine. In early recovery, man, I could drink a cup of coffee at 9 o'clock at night and pass right out at 10.
Yep.
But as I've progressed through my recovery, it's a little bit more difficult for me. So I kind of have to be conscious of my caffeine intake, which, I don't know if I'm just getting older or if it's, something with recovery. But so I've started to pay attention, okay, I'm not going to drink any caffeinated beverages after 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And even working on cutting down your liquids after, 4:30, 5 o'clock at night.
Yep. No, and that for me too was super impactful because I'm a 2 energy drink a day guy.
Yeah.
And I found if I, started my morning with one, honestly, I should probably be moving caffeine later into the morning instead of right first thing. But cutting that second one off as I'm starting that no later than 11 o'clock noon was way more impactful than I expected it to be. Yeah. If I had not had caffeine in the last 8 or 9 hours before I was trying to go to sleep actually came.
Yeah.
Which, I don't like cutting myself off from caffeine, but it worked.
And it's a balance too, because it's okay, I think caffeine because I want to get more done during the day. But if I think good sleep, I'm going to get more done during the day.
Yeah. And I think too, the what's the half-life of caffeine is 6 hours.
Yeah.
So it's not, I can't have caffeine 6 hours before bed. It's just half the caffeine that I had is gone 6 hours later. So actually understanding how that worked made a lot more sense.
Was really a big pitfall that sometimes we fall into is thinking I need something to help me sleep.
Yeah.
Because for the longest time I thought I needed something to help me do anything. And so, I start to think, okay, I've been in recovery 30, 60, 90 days. I'm having trouble sleeping. What's going to help me sleep? And then you immediately think, well, there's got to be a substance. There's got to be a pill. There's got to be something out there that's going to help me sleep. And so I would just always caution people, about, first of all, being in recovery, accountability matters. You got to be accountable to yourself. And then also seeking help from a medical professional, talking to your doctor, your therapist, or a sponsor about like, hey, I was thinking of potentially taking this. And, I know I was very clear with my doctors when I was in early recovery, like I'm in early recovery. Please treat me as such, and don't give me and so that was very good with my doctors because they would say, well, we're not going to give you X, Y, and Z because that's habit forming and blah, blah, so really working to figure out like what's the best natural substance free way to get a good night's sleep.
Yep. Well, and I think that's the important part too, right? Is that's the old mentality of find the pill, find the drink, find the whatever it is to just fix the problem instead of like actually trying to solve the solution.
Absolutely. And it's like, okay, if one pill is going to help me get to sleep, 2 pills is going to help me get great sleep.
Yep.
And then next thing you know, you're struggling to show up for work and
it's not, it's an incredibly common conversation that I've had with people, whether it's ZQuil, NyQuil, melatonin, some of the more, heavy sleep aids, like it's never been a good solution and it never works long-term. And it obviously has the potential to make things a lot worse.
So we caution you to replace one coping skill with another.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
And also, avoiding the isolation when you're tired, reaching out to somebody, taking time to, go to a mutual aid support meeting or even calling the warm line if you're struggling or talking to a recovery coach, talking to somebody in recovery, even if it's just, going to church or whatever outing that you might have planned for that day, kind of making sure that like, okay, people will understand you're tired, you didn't sleep well. But, isolation is one of those pitfalls that we can easily fall back into.
Very easily. I think I found legitimately just switching to decaf coffee, which I think only has like 5 or 10 milligrams of caffeine at that 7:30 meeting.
Yeah.
Instead of slamming 2 more cups of coffee that late at night, did help kind of wind down the evening.
Yeah. And I think the most important part is that sleep will come back. Your body knows how to heal. Your brain knows how to heal. So if you're struggling right now in early recovery, just know that, other people have been through it and that sleep is going to come eventually.
And be patient. Be patient with yourself. The process will work. It just needs some time.
Yeah. Keep reaching out. You're not alone.
Bye.
Bye. Peace out.